What's going on, guys? We're gonna do a little thing on the garden for this episode, show you what's going on with it and some things to look for, and then later on I'll tell you a little bit more information about what we use and stuff in the garden. So let me show you. So we got some green beans. These are short runner green beans. They're 52-day variety, meaning once you put the seed in, it takes 52 days before it'll bear fruit. And our tomatoes are starting to dry up a little bit, but we're getting a bunch of them in there. Let me show you guys how big this thing is. Huge. Rutabaga, I think it is. We've got some late in the year. I didn't think they would do anything, but here we go. Here they are. But we're starting to get some green beans and stuff on. Some half runners, that's what these are called. Let me show you guys something you need to watch for, though. So if you don't use any pesticides or, Sevin dust or anything like that, if you're trying to do it all natural, like me, I don't want any of that chemicals or anything on my garden. So one thing you can do to defend your garden a little bit is to look for certain things. So like, let me see if I can show you. You see how all the leaves are ate off of that? You want to come out and check your plants every once in a while, see how that's look all stubby looking. So usually this is a good indicator of something eating on them. And here in Kentucky, let me see if I can find it here. They're so hard to see because they blend in so well. Did you see them? Right there? That is a tobacco worm's what I call them. But if you look at its butt, it's got a little red stinger. So you want to make sure that when you're grabbing this thing, I like to use just a pair of channel locks or something just to squeeze a hold of him. Let me get him out of here and I'll show you. They're so hard, I almost missed where he was again. Alright, let me get him out here in the dirt where you can see him. See how big he is? He's almost the size of one of my fingers, and I got a big old finger. But they'll get you if you don't watch them. That little stinger on the back there will get you. So you want to be really careful. These things are crazy on tomatoes. They will absolutely, and I'm barely squeezing that, guys, if you're wondering. That's why it fell out. They will really tear up some tomatoes. So that's something you can watch for. And you can also watch for like little holes in your leaves and stuff. Well, it's getting later in the year. My cucumber plants are almost done for, but they still got a couple cucumbers in there need picked. It's a big one. Alright guys, so if you're like us, when we're growing our gardens and planning for the coming year, what we want to plant and things, what I look for is I want it as close to natural as I can get, okay, because it's healthier for you and I know where it's come from. So what I look for is heirloom, non-GMO seeds. What that means is a heirloom it's not a hybrid or anything. It's something that you can collect the seeds from and use again the next year. So if anything was to ever happen where you can't get seeds, or a lot of times, over the past 1,000 years, we've lost a lot of different varieties of seeds. So if you have a heirloom seed, it's something that you can put back and you'll always have that plant. You don't have to worry about something happen and contaminating the seeds of a company or something and losing that specific variety of that plant that you want to plant. Like I have a 100-year-old heirloom non-GMO green beans, and they're like, I mean, they grow like a foot long, and I got them all from an old farmer that has had them in his family for 100 years just from putting those seeds back every year. You know, and you can't find that strain of that green bean anywhere, to my knowledge anyway. You know, there might be some out there, but it's different. You know, it still might be the same kind of size, but it might not be from that strain. So, and the GMO, for you all that don't know what that means, it means genetically modified. Okay? So I don't want anything that's been messed with, you know, put fish DNA in with tomatoes to make it more productive and more disease resistant. You know, if there are simple natural ways of taking care of your gardens, yeah, they're not going to do as good. Yeah, you're going to have to be in it a little more. But you know what's in it. It's a natural seed. You know, it's not something that some scientist has done whatever to that has, you have no idea what the consequences are of it. You know, side effects just because it produces, you know, 10 pounds more of tomatoes a year for 5 plants or something. You know? So, and also things that we look for, especially like tomato, we look for a, I forget the name of it. There's 2 different kinds of tomatoes. There's ones like a farmer, a big commercial farmer would grow, and it sets all of its fruit and ripens all at the same time. Okay, and then there's tomato plants and stuff like that I always buy. It's it sets indeterminate and determinate is what the name is called. Okay, so the ones that I like is the ones that set fruit all different times and ripen all different times. So I'm not, you know, I don't have a whole big tomato plant plumb full of red tomatoes and the whole garden plumb full of them, and then all year I had nothing else. So those are things that we look for. You know, we put seeds back when we can. This is our first big garden, and it's not even a big garden. Next year will be a big garden, you know, that we have done in a couple years. I mean, I've always helped my father and stuff with his gardens, but no, it's not really the same if it's not yours. But we're planning on doing a lot more things with gardening. You know, right now all I have is cucumbers and tomato plants and green beans. That's all. Well, I had zucchini, and watermelon, but they rotted out on me this year. First time I've ever grown them. I got like 5 zucchinis and they rotted, and all the watermelons rotted. But I think a lot of that had to do with this, my shed, my little solar shed that I got here. All the rain would run off the front and back and go right in the garden and flood it out. And we had a lot of rain this year, so I don't think that was very good for it. So, but we plan on next year. I'd like to grow like a lettuce and cabbage for coleslaw and stuff, and peppers and onions and more cucumbers. Different way though. I'd like to put a trellis up this coming year, and some more cherry tomato plants and potatoes and stuff. So we're going to be doing a lot more planting next year and putting back a lot more food and canning and everything. Something else I was going to say. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any comments or suggestions or anything, please feel free in the comment section below to put it in there. You know, like and subscribe. Just let me know what you think. Thanks.